She's the new sprint queen, the ambassador, the world indoor champion, the Olympic champion, and the Diamond League champion for 2024, leaving nothing on the table.
What could a girl ask for? A monument, perhaps? Julien Alfred joins us to talk about her 2024 season and, of course, looking forward to 2025. This is Out the Blocks. Of course, I'm Leighton Levy, and with me is the great entertainer, the tall man, the real friend, D Major. And, of course, please remember to like our content, subscribe on the channel, first of all, like our content and share, and, of course, enjoy the Out the Blocks podcast. And straight out the blocks, we're welcoming in the Olympic champion, the Diamond League champion, the world indoor champion, the tourism ambassador, Julien Alfred. Thanks for joining us, Julien. Of course, it's a pleasure having you on. We've waited for a while for this, so it's good to have you on. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
First question out of the blocks is, what was that week like for you in St. Lucia? It was crazy.
It was overwhelming. But I just filled with so much love and support from my fellow St. Lucians, and it was something that I really enjoyed, just celebrating, with my people.
Yeah, so tell me, I mean, it was a whirlwind week. You were named tourism ambassador. You had a monument is going to be erected in your honor. They renamed the Millennium Highway the Julien Alfred Highway. You got $1 million EC from the government. You got 75,000 EC from the Olympic Association. You got 10,000 square foot worth of land.
Wow.
Tell me, what else is there that St. Lucia could have done for you?
She even got the mountains on her collar.
Yeah, not the mountain. Pitons. No, but they did a lot for me, which I'm truly appreciative of what the government of St. Lucia did for me to celebrate me. I'm really a simple person. They could have given me the smallest thing, and I would have just been appreciative of just how they celebrated me, and just seeing my fellow St. Lucians line up along the road, waited till night to celebrate me whenever I passed to the constituency, the community. They just waited until they could get a chance to celebrate with me, and that alone was a lot for me.
Yeah. There is a massive mural. I've never seen a mural that big on your school in Cicerone. Yeah. What was that moment like for you when they unveiled that to you?
That day overall was emotional for me. Going back to my stomping ground, my old grounds in my community where it all began, and just being celebrated and just seeing how far I've come in life. And now I have a monument, and my face is now on the primary school where it all started.
Yeah.
And earlier on that day, it was an emotional day for me, just going back to the Cicero Combined School where the teachers, they watched me grow. My primary school PE teacher, he passed on, but just seeing that he's not there to celebrate with me. So overall it was an emotional day for me, but one that I appreciate forever.
It was an emotional experience overall, because I remember seeing some video of you shedding tears on other occasions as well.
Every day.
What all the things that happened to you in St. Lucia, Julien, what was perhaps the most significant one for you?
Wow. There are so many moments that, I was truly appreciative of, but I think the time when I was announced, or I signed the contract of becoming a tourism ambassador, that was an emotional moment for me, because I was just a young girl from Cicero, humble beginnings, to now becoming a tourism ambassador for my country, St. Lucia. That alone, like I said when I spoke, it's I don't know which one means more to me. The Olympic goal or just becoming an ambassador for my country. I just didn't know which one meant the most to me, but I think there were so many moments whilst I was in St. Lucia that just meant the absolute most to me. But since I was announced the tourism ambassador, that alone took the cake for me.
Okay, Julien, so Olympic champion, world indoor champion, Diamond League champion, tourism ambassador now. I mean, all these accomplishments, and you still, one thing I admire about you still remain so humble, you know, so graceful. And who do you think you owe that to? who have instilled that in you?
So many people,
Mm-hmm.
so many people. You know, Edric Floriel, my current coach at UT,
Mm-hmm.
he's taught me so many things about life,
Mm-hmm.
um, how to go about that, how to do things the right way. You know, my childhood coach always told me about being humble,
Yes.
allow people to like boast about you, and just my humble beginnings and never forgetting where I came from.
Right.
Like I said, so many people like who I've crossed paths with,
Mm-hmm.
they've been like they've made a huge impact in my life.
Right.
And you know, being a coach for 5 years, he's taught me so much, and he's always taught me to like just never forget where you came from and always be humble.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there are so many people I can give thanks to,
Wow.
but I would say my coaches, my family,
Mm-hmm.
who's kept me grounded. So many people.
Right.
Yeah, he has kept you grounded in so many ways. I remember, but when you won the NCAA title, in fact, the double, the triple, he said to you, he said in an interview that you're the greatest NCAA athlete ever. So
Oh,
he has those things where he's
Yeah.
giving you your flaws, but at the same time he's asking you to be humble at the same time. How do you balance
yes,
that? Because he's not spouting smoke. He's telling the truth
Yes.
in so many different
yes,
ways. But at the same time, he has you grounded.
yes. I think that speaks to my environment. Um, yes, we know the good things that I've done, but you know, I still have somewhere I want to go. I still have things that I want to accomplish, and we've spoken about the things that where I want to go, what I want to accomplish, and I'm not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it keeps reminding me that you know I'm not there yet. So let's keep going. Let's keep working towards what I want in life, and I think that alone itself has kept me grounded and not. I haven't. I don't feel like I've made it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that alone keeps me pushing and hungry for more.
What does made it look like?
What has made it look like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there are accolades that I still want in my life, in my career.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yes, I accomplished an Olympic goals, World Indoors, Diamond League final winner, but I don't have accolades in World Championships yet. You know,
Okay.
outdoors. I don't have like the 100 or 200-meter title or like even the 200-meter title at the Olympics. I feel like there's still more that I can chase or go after, and
Mm-hmm.
just leave my legacy behind, and just pay tribute to all those who pour into me. You know, give back to them in such a way. So
Wonderful.
that's what made it to me look like.
Okay, fair enough.
I think this is a good. I think it's a great segue, Julian. Uh, the Olympic final. Do you think time-wise you hit your best time in that final?
My best at the time, yeah. I would look at it that way. And, you know, if that's what God allowed me to run at that time, and that's what
Yeah.
God could have given me, then so be. Then that's my best at the time. So
Yes.
I'll take it as that.
In terms of your execution, do you feel like yo, I could have had a better dry phase, I could have had a better mid phase, or so? How did you feel about that?
I think my ending. You see, right now, I was excited towards the end
Yeah.
because I was getting to the line, and you know, usually some people have a better ending than I do, and just like nobody was catching up to me.
Yeah.
I got a bit excited. I didn't know what to do. I was taking my bib off. I was just I was leaning towards the line, trying to take my bib up. It was just a lot going on at the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like the last part of my race could have been a lot better. But I think the
Yes.
first part and the midfield, my first 60 was the fastest 60 I've ever ran
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
Looking back on the analysis of the race. So I think the first part of my race was good. The ending just could have been a lot better.
Yeah, because
Well, yeah.
you're clearly in tensive shape. But so come back to that. I wanted to ask you about the semifinal because you had the semifinal of death. You had Shelly and Fraser Price and you had Jakara Richardson lined up on either side of you.
Oh my God.
When you saw that draw, what was your thinking at one? And two, what was your thinking when Shelly didn't show up in the semifinal?
Well, one, when I saw the lineup, I was like, man, I have to run. I have to run tomorrow. Because I was thinking about like how am I going to execute? You know, before the Olympics, Coach Flo and I worked on visualization of my races, but mainly the Olympic final. Doesn't matter who was in there. But then the race came to me so early, the semifinal, so I had to like psych myself up mentally and to prepare myself for the semifinal, which was crazy.
Yep.
So I had to like think about my race plan. How am I going to approach the race? Sometimes you can be so relaxed in a race that you just don't really care. You're just not really activated or not fired up. So I knew I had to be fired up for that race specifically because
Definitely.
this
You
would have
need,
prepared me for the final.
Yeah.
definitely,
And
definitely.
when I was in the call room and just realizing that Shelly's not there, I was shocked because in the warm up area, I saw both she and Shakari warming up. So I was just kind of confused as to what happened. Um, but I've just never seen that before. I've never seen like something like that happen where somebody doesn't really show up for a race. I mean, my years of watching the Olympic Games, I've always seen like all lanes like full of people, so I wasn't sure, what was happening. But that was like kind of confusing for me. Um, I didn't really allow to change my game plan because I had the world champion right next to me, so I know I had to stay locked in
Yeah.
for the semifinal.
Did you feel like after the semi that you had the measure of Shakari for the final? Because the semi-final you had to put the foot down to the medal, the pedal to the metal somewhat. Did you get a sense that going into the final, then this was your race to lose as opposed to trying to beat the world champion?
Yes, after that semifinal, I gained so much confidence, and you know, crossing the line and just executing such a good race in the semifinal, and even like slowing it down the last 5 meters of the race.
Yeah.
I knew I had it in the bag. As long as I just go out there, execute, and do what my coach and I have been working on for such a long time. As long as I go out there and do the same thing like in the final, I knew I had it in the bag. And I
Nice.
was relaxed. I was relaxed as possible. And I think the way the semifinal turned out was the best thing that happened to me.
Yes, as you
Because I
said,
gained all the confidence and just going back to the warm up area, my coach was like, "It's not done yet. We have one more round."
definitely. As you said, the semi-final would have set the final up. Julian, give us an idea of how you prepare, for these races. How I see you with your headphones. I don't know. How give us an idea of how you, get ready for these races.
Um, so I usually listen to music. I usually journal as well, like journaling and manifesting. Like even before the final, like I was just saying, like I am the Olympic champion. Even before I even raced or stepped foot on the track, I was just considering myself as an Olympic, um, as an Olympic gold medalist. So manifesting, believing in myself, journaling, praying, listening to music, and trying to like dance around and cheer.
What
But
what do you
I
listen
think
to?
soca music, soca music. During that time at the Olympics, we had two specific songs that was just going viral, and I was listening to that over and over again um, during the final. So I think that really helped me with my confidence. So I listen to soca music, sometimes reggae music.
Okay.
No Zouk?
It really is no soca. No soca.
What is Leighton saying?
Absolutely no soca.
What is
No
Leighton
soca.
saying?
No, but she's from St.
Yeah,
Lucia.
yeah. Yes,
No
man.
soca music. That's not my vibe.
Julian, let me segue for 1 second. This is a big year for St. Lucia. I mean, you, of course, what your accomplishments were, St. Lucia Kings winning the title, the CPL.
Yes.
There, Ian Bishop was on here saying he was wondering if you were watching. Were you watching?
I was watching, I was celebrating in Dallas with other St. Lucians. So I was watching, I wasn't hearing him saying those things, but I was watching, celebrating with the Kings.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So getting back to the thread now. Looking at you've done everything. You were in 10-6 shape in Paris. You win the Diamond League final. 2025 is going to be hard to top, right? I mean, I know that you have the World Championships we're doing in Tokyo in September.
Right.
What are the things that you think you need to improve? I mean, you mentioned, of course, the final phase of your race, but can you possibly get stronger? Can you get faster for 2025, given where you were at in 2024?
I think I have a lot to work on. I have to get stronger, my core, strengthen my core more. On the track, I think that getting stronger mentally as well as physically is really what I have to work on. As you know, I've spoken about the 200 for such a long time
Yeah.
and how I feel about it. So I
Yeah, you
think
hate it.
my coach is going to work with me in how I feel about the 200 and getting stronger and being more comfortable in running the 200. So
Yes.
I might do some like longer races, I don't know. But I
Yes.
think he's really trying to help me get stronger mentally as I approach, the 2025 season,
Yeah.
Yes.
especially as it pertains to the 200.
But Julian,
So
yeah, can I interject for 1 second?
yeah,
You're the second fastest woman all time indoors, 22:01. Only Merlin Otti is faster than you indoors.
right.
You're the second fastest woman outdoors in 60s, which is only Irina Privalova is faster than you. Outside of Jamaica, you're the fastest Caribbean woman ever. Only Shelly, Sharika, and Elaine are
Yeah.
faster than you are. What is it to not to like about the 200? Because you're so good at it.
Hurts.
I am, but yeah,
It hurts.
but also like, growing up, I wasn't really good at the 200. So I kind of kept that same mentality that I'm not good at it. And I think that it has, even though I've proven to myself to be, even like NCAAs, I've proven myself to be good at it. I think that because of the way it was when I was growing up, I've just never really committed myself to running a good 200. Even though the strength is there and my heart is there, but it's like I've never fully committed myself to running like a 200, how I'll go in there and run a 100 or a 60.
What,
It's just not the same mentality.
okay, was it fatigue in the final of the 200 that got to you? You looked a little jaded there near the end, or what was it?
I think fatigue and I was overthinking a lot.
Okay.
Like going into the final, the last race is like, let's just get this over with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was really tired because even after the 100, like I went to bed like so late. I got like 2 hours rest. I drank some coffee and I barely warmed up. I did some accelerations and my coach was like, just go out there to just
For the first.
qualify for the next round and
Yes.
let's just keep moving with it. But when the finals came around, my coach said I didn't approach it the same way like I did the 100, which is true. And like I mentioned, just my mentality towards it, which I'm going to work on like a lot this year. But I think my mentality going to the final wasn't the same. So I'm really going to just try to change. And then I was just overthinking the final. I was overthinking, like trying to think of each phase and this. It was a lot happening. I should have just run it all out. And if Gabby
Yes.
catches me, then so be it.
You mentioned
But it
getting
wasn't that
stronger.
way.
You mentioned getting stronger, Julian. Is it that you don't like the weight room, or you just need to up things where that is concerned?
No, I actually love the weight room to be honest. But everybody have a different body type, and for me, I can't lift too much weight or else I'll be jacked up. Like
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I'll be like muscular walking around like I can't have that. But we have other ways that we can get stronger,
Definitely.
such as ankle strength, core, hips, like
Yes.
trying to build strength in different places that can make me like a better athlete.
Lot of
So I
rubber
think
band
that's what
work.
my
Yeah.
yeah, that's what my coach is trying to plan and work with me and trying to improve on next year, God's willing.
Nice. Stronger means faster though, so I mean that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're scary.
Yes, yes, yes.
Every
Hopefully.
every time somebody wins a world title or Olympic titles, you always hear the conversation about the world record, 10:49. Is that something that you think about, or is that something that is just part of the environment for you? You don't even pay much attention to it.
I don't pay attention to the time. I've paid attention to the time indoors, but something I've realized is that you cannot chase times. And when you chase times, you tend to tense up a lot and you just won't get it. Let it come to you naturally. And I'm not chasing time whatsoever because sometimes you win an Olympic gold medal and nobody remember the time that you ran.
Yep.
But you
Exactly.
remember as an Olympic gold medalist. So I no
Definitely.
longer chase times. I no longer think that, oh, I want to get this record. I know I've tried so many times indoor to get the world record. It never came to me. But I think that for me, thinking about 10:49 is not going to help me whatsoever. Like I said, I want accolades more than times. And if it takes 10:06 to win a world championship, gold medal, and that's what it takes to win it, I know I want accolades. I don't care about times. Records are meant to be broken,
Yep.
and maybe have it for one day, and somebody breaks it right after me. So records are not something that I'm looking after.
Right.
Going
Right.
back to the strength thing that Major just mentioned a while ago. To me, you had better abs when you were in high school than you have now.
Yeah.
You think so?
No, when when you were at St. Catherine, your abs were cut.
I
You,
disagree.
you had like a 10 pack. It looked like almost.
She's thinking now.
A 10 pack is crazy.
You don't think so? I mean, you remember that picture that you have where you're holding the flag?
Oh, that's Commonwealth Games.
That was Commonwealth Games?
Yeah, yeah. But my coach has been behind me to get my abs, like my core stronger.
Yeah.
So we can like get better technically.
Yeah.
So not until we kind of shut the season down early and trying to like build up to prepare for the Olympics, that's when he said he had me
Yeah, that's the
doing my
Julien.
strong. He was on me about my core like a lot during that time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So for the fans worldwide, if you didn't know, Julien went to high school in Jamaica. Julien, what would you say was the
Yes.
most valuable thing you took away from competing in Jamaica and high school, and how has it helped you now in your professional years?
Yeah, there are so many things. I think Jamaica taught me how to compete in front a large crowd.
Right. Noisy crowds, though.
Oh my God. Those champs, like nothing could have prepared me for that more than boys and girls champs.
Right.
And maybe if I didn't go through the Jamaican system or I got that experience in Jamaica, maybe at the Olympics,
Yeah.
I would have been so frightened competing in front of such a large crowd. So I think that the atmosphere, the high level competition, and how you have to be mentally tough to compete at both in this champs or in
Yes.
Jamaica in general. Like
Yes.
I think Jamaica prepared me um, for just how I improved like in my career.
Yeah. I've spoken to professionals, uh, Julien, professional athletes, and they rate boys and girls champs up there in terms of the energy.
Oh my God,
How you
yes.
feel about that? Do you agree that like there's almost no other place like it?
Yes.
Yeah,
No, like the energy at Boys and Girls Champs is crazy. Like
yeah,
like no other. We don't have that in St. Lucia, which I'm really hoping that we can get to that point.
yeah.
In St. Lucia. Um, but the atmosphere, the energy,
Yes,
the competition is like no other. It's a really good track meet, I would say.
nice.
So, how did you, I mean, other than the dynamic in, what happened in St. Lucia for that intense week, how did you celebrate the success of 2024? Did you do anything special that, just to reflect on the moment, to relax and have fun and embrace the success?
No, not yet.
Leighton trying to get in a business.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier on, like I'm back to
Yeah.
doing like little stuff with my team because I want to get back into it because I feel like I'm just so hungry for more
Yes,
that my coach sometimes hates it.
yeah,
That I don't really give myself a chance to like relax, but I am going to go on vacation just to like just kind of relax before I get back into training, which starts in a few weeks. So I'm going to go on vacation to just get my mind settled in, get my body like a lot relaxed. But I haven't done anything much to like celebrate. I think I waited until I got to San Lucia to celebrate with my people.
Julian is going to be the next major female star on the
so humble
yeah.
and stuff too. With all she's accomplished. And personally, I'm sharing that gold medal. St. Lucia and Jamaica.
For real, no. I mean,
Yeah, man.
honestly, one of the things that I like, you know, there was this big talk before the Olympics that the US are going to break this Jamaican or the Caribbean stranglehold on the Olympic flag. Because remember, you know, the last American to legitimately win a title at the
Yes.
Olympics was Gail Levers in 1996.
There you go.
Marianne Jones won in 2000, but then she was disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
So it was from 2008, it was
Right.
Shelley,
Yeah.
Elaine.
Alien, yeah.
So
Two apiece.
yeah, they were hoping that Shakira would have broken that trend,
Not
but
so.
Julian has kept it in the Caribbean.
I believe that she's going to give everyone problems lately, you know. She's going to give everyone problems. And I just pray that she's continues staying humble in the way that we've seen her conduct herself and all that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the reality of it is that what we're seeing is the emergence of possibly one of the biggest stars coming out of the Caribbean. I mean, Jamaica has dominated the landscape for a long, long time. And of course, there's a period when Otto Bolden from Trinidad was carrying the sway.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Asafa came along, and you know the Bolts and the Shellys and the Lanes.
Right.
But what we're seeing here, I think, is the emergence of Julien Alfred in a way that makes her the next great star coming out of the Caribbean. Because look, the reality is that she's only 23 years old.
There you go.
Right? Sharika is 30.
And you have always had Caribbean presence, you know, the
Yeah.
Bahamian girls, you know, Michelle Aye,
Initially, but not anymore.
but this level.
Baptiste as well, who ran
Right.
1083.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so the reality is that they're not, but nobody's as fast as she is. 1072
Oh no,
with the potential to be a lot faster.
a few
You know,
have
so
run this fast.
that's the whole idea about it, because outside, we've never seen, I don't think we've ever seen anybody outside of Jamaica in the Caribbean this talented
Yeah,
in terms of what they're capable of doing.
definitely.
This is a woman who's ready to run 10.6.
I believe
you know,
so.
so,
I believe the conditions that's what stopped her from doing so at the Olympics this year. You know, the rainy conditions definitely not favorable for fast running.
Yeah.
But I believe that is what hindered her from really breaking the 10.7 barrier and going 10.6, whatever. And as she said to her last phase, you know, she kind of lost her form and stuff. But man, I'm really impressed with Julian's talent, definitely.
Julian, we want to thank her for joining us today. Next week, we'll delve into what's happening in the Bahamas. Hopefully, we'll have the head of the Bahamian Athletics Association, Jamaica Archer, to talk about what's been happening with Stephen Gardner and all those injuries. And of course, Shawnee Miller, and is Devin Charlton now going to be the new face of track and field in the Bahamas? So until next week, this is Libby saying goodbye on behalf of D Major. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week on All the Vlogs.
Blessings.